In the deep space of the Arcanus sector, the Empire controlled everything. Their warships watched the stars. Their officers followed old rules. For them, nothing new ever came. That changed one day. Captain Alara of the Imperial Dreadnought Vals watched the screen. A strange signal was coming from a dead system. The system had no life, no stations, no reason to be active. She frowned. Her officers looked at each other. "It is a power surge," said one officer. "Something big." "Send a scout," Alara ordered. A small ship flew toward the signal. It reached the area and sent back a short message before it went silent. Then the ship vanished from their screens. Alara stood up. "Bring the ship closer." The dreadnought moved through the darkness. Everyone on board was quiet. The signal got stronger. Then they saw it. A ship appeared. It did not match any known design. It was large and shaped like a blade. Its dark surface reflected no light. Strange markings ran across its hull. The crew stared in silence. "What is that?" asked Alara. "Unknown class. No match in our database." "No response to hails," said her second officer. Suddenly, a voice came through their speakers. It spoke in a language they did not understand, but the tone was calm. Then the ship sent a new signal. It was a warning. The dreadnought systems started to fail. Lights flickered. Engines slowed. Weapons shut down. Alara shouted, "Shields up! Fire!" But nothing worked. The strange ship had full control. Then, just as quickly, the ship turned and disappeared. The screens cleared. Systems returned. The enemy had not destroyed them. It had simply walked in and walked out. Alara stood still. She felt fear, something she had not felt in years. Far from that system, on a hidden world named Delvia Prime, a group of humans watched the event. They sat in a dark room, lit by the glow of screens. Commander Aaron Blake stood at the center. "Mission successful," said Megan Hall, his tactical officer. "No losses. Empire Dreadnought fully disabled." Blake nodded. "Good. Now they know we're here." The human warship, called the Horizon, had returned from its first mission. It was the result of years of work. Humanity had been silent for over 300 years. After the Exodus, they left the known galaxy. Now they were back. Lena. Brooks, the lead scientist, looked at her readings. Energy use was high, but stable. The cloak held. We stayed invisible until the end. Chris Duran, the engineer, added, "We still need to be careful. That kind of power can burn us out if we push too hard." Blake looked at them all. This was just the first step. We are not here to fight without reason. But they need to know that humans are not forgotten, not weak, not gone. On the other side of the galaxy, panic spread through the Empire. Reports came in. A ship with unknown power had attacked and disappeared. Some thought it was a ghost. Others feared an old enemy had returned. The leaders of the Empire met in secret. They asked the same question. Who are they, back on the horizon? Blake stood on the bridge. Stars moved past the windows. His hands were behind his back. "Send a message," he said. Kara Mitchell, his second-in-command, nodded. The message was short and clear. It was sent in every known language. "We are human. We are back." The words moved through space, picked up by satellites, trade ships, and rebel networks. People listened. Some feared it. Some smiled. Some whispered the word, humans. A new chapter had started. And the Empire had no idea what was coming next. In the deep space of the Arcona sector, the Empire controlled everything. Their warships watched the stars. Their officers followed old rules. For them, nothing new ever came that changed one day. Captain Alara of the Imperial Dreadnought, Valsari, watched the screen. A strange signal was coming from a dead system. The system had no life, no stations, no reason to be active. She frowned. Her officers looked at each other. "It is a power surge," said one officer. "Something big." "Send a scout," Alara ordered. A small ship flew toward the signal. It reached the area and sent back a short message before it went silent. Then the ship vanished from their screens. Alara stood up. "Bring the ship closer." The dreadnought moved through the darkness. Everyone on board was quiet. The signal got stronger. Then they saw it. A ship appeared. It did not match any known design. It was large and shaped like a blade. Its dark surface reflected no light. Strange markings ran across its hull. The crew stared in silence. "What is that?" asked Alara. "Unknown class. No match in our database." "No response to hails," said her second officer. Suddenly, a voice came through their speakers. It spoke in a language they did not understand, but the tone was calm. Then the ship sent a new signal. It was a warning. The dreadnought systems started to fail. Lights flickered. Engines slowed. Weapons shut down. Alara shouted, "Shields up! Fire!" But nothing worked. The strange ship had full control. Then, just as quickly, the ship turned and disappeared. The screens cleared. Systems returned. The enemy had not destroyed them. It had simply walked in and walked out. Alara stood still. She felt fear, something she had not felt in years. Far from that system, on a hidden world named Delvia Prime, a group of humans watched the event. They sat in a dark room, lit by the glow of screens. Commander Aaron Blake stood at the center. "Mission successful," said Megan Hall, his tactical officer. "No losses. Empire Dreadnought fully disabled." Blake nodded. "Good. Now they know we're here." The human warship, called the Horizon, had returned from its first mission. It was the result of years of work. Humanity had been silent for over 300 years. After the Exodus, they left the known galaxy. Now they were back. Lena. Brooks, the lead scientist, looked at her readings. Energy use was high, but stable. The cloak held. We stayed invisible until the end. Chris Duran, the engineer, added, "We still need to be careful. That kind of power can burn us out if we push too hard." Blake looked at them all. "This was just the first step. We are not here to fight without reason. But they need to know that humans are not forgotten, not weak, not gone." On the other side of the galaxy, panic spread through the Empire. Reports came in. A ship with unknown power had attacked and disappeared. Some thought it was a ghost. Others feared an old enemy had returned. The leaders of the Empire met in secret. They asked the same question. Who are they, back on the horizon? Blake stood on the bridge. Stars moved past the windows. His hands were behind his back. "Send a message," he said. Kara Mitchell, his second-in-command, nodded. The message was short and clear. It was sent in every known language. "We are human. We are back." The words moved through space, picked up by satellites, trade ships, and rebel networks. People listened. Some feared it. Some smiled. Some whispered the word. Humans. A new chapter had started, and the Empire had no idea what was coming next. News of the battle spread across the galaxy. It reached mining colonies, trading hubs, and outer stations. People heard about the human ship that defeated an Empire fleet and left them alive. Many did not believe it. But the ones who saw the recordings knew it was real. On the Empire capital world, Veltrin, Empress Lyra, watched the reports in silence. She sat on a high seat in a dark room, her eyes fixed on the screen. Around her stood her advisors, all quiet. "They are not just stories," she said. "They are real." An advisor spoke. "We must crush them now before others begin to follow." She shook her head. "We do not even know how many ships they have. We must learn." The Empress gave new orders. A new fleet would be built, stronger than before. She also sent spies to the outer sectors. They were told to find out where the humans came from, far from the capital, in the quiet space near Drenna 5. The warship Horizon moved slow. It had just finished repairs. Blake stood on the bridge with Kara and Megan. "We gave them a chance," Kara said, "and they chose to fight." "Some of them did," Blake answered, "but not all. Did you see the last ship? It left without a shot." Megan added, "We are being watched. Sensors keep picking up ghost signals. Nothing clear." "Spies," Blake said. "Let them watch. Let them see who we really are." Below deck, Lena Brooks worked with Chris Duran in the lab. She had found something in the last battle. A signal hidden deep inside the enemy systems. It looked old. "It's human code," she said. "Old Earth tech, but changed, twisted." Chris looked closer. "Someone used our tech and made it their own. Maybe long ago," Lena nodded. "We may not be the only humans out here." Back on the bridge, Blake got a message. A small ship was under attack. Near Drenna 5, it had miners on board, fleeing from an Empire raid. The Horizon changed course. When they arrived, they saw the truth. An Empire cruiser was chasing a broken cargo ship. The miners had no weapons. They were calling for help. "Move in," Blake said. The Horizon dropped out of stealth and fired a warning shot. The Empire cruiser turned to face them. "Identify yourself," came the voice of the Empire captain. Blake answered, "I am Commander Blake of the human ship Horizon. You will not fire on unarmed people." "They are criminals," the captain said. "They are workers. We saw your records. You sent them to dig until they died. Not anymore." The Empire ship fired. Horizon moved fast, disabling its weapons. The miners were taken on board. Blake met them in the cargo bay. They looked tired and scared, but one man stepped forward. "Name's Eli," he said. "We thought no one would ever stop them." "Who are you?" "People," Blake smiled. "We are from Earth. We came back." Eli stared at him. "I heard stories about Earth when I was a child. I didn't think it was real. It is, and now you are free." Word of the rescue spread fast. On small worlds, rebels began to rise. They did not have warships, but they had hope. The name Horizon became a symbol, but not all were happy. On a black ship hidden in deep space, an old figure watched the stars. He was not part of the Empire. He was part of something older. His name was Kel Ran. He spoke to his crew. Earth was supposed to stay hidden. That was the deal. Now they return. Now the balance breaks. His ship, the Night Shard, had tech no one else had. He had waited a long time for peace, but now he prepared for war. "Find them," he ordered, "before they find the others." Back on the Horizon, Kara looked at new reports. "Something strange is coming," she said. Not empire, something else. Blake looked at the stars. Then we will face that too. One truth at a time. One fight at a time. The galaxy was changing. And the storm was only beginning. Asterisk, the stars above the Empire capital were quiet. Ships moved in the distance. Patrols watched the gates, and stations floated like islands. But there was fear. The name Horizon had spread like fire. People whispered about humans. Some were afraid. Some were hopeful. In a secret meeting room, Empress Lyra looked at her generals. Her voice was sharp. The Empire is breaking. Worlds are rising. Soldiers question orders. They see the humans and wonder if they should fight or follow. One general said, "We still have more ships, more men, and less control," the Empress answered. "It is not just power now, it is belief." She gave her last order. Find the human ship. Crush it, or we lose everything. Far away, the horizon was not hiding. It led a fleet now. Small, but full of hope. Rebel ships, old freighters, traders, a few ex-Empire fighters. Each one followed the horizon through space. Aaron Blake stood on the bridge, his hands behind his back. "We go to the heart," he said. "We show them that this is not just one battle. It is a new start." Kara Mitchell nodded. "Scouts say a full fleet waits for us near the capital gate." "Let them wait," Blake said. "We are ready." In the engine room, Chris Duran made final checks. The ship was strong, but the jump core was not made for long runs. He had done all he could. Lena Brooks watched the data. "The core will hold," she said, "but only once more. Then we make it count." Chris replied. The horizon and the fleet jumped on the edge of the capital system. The Empire waited. Admiral Soren stood at the front of the command ship. He had served for 40 years. He had never lost, but now he watched the stars with worry. "They are coming," his officer said. The fleet of rebels dropped out of jump. They looked small, poor, weak. But then the horizon appeared. It glowed with power. It moved with grace. It had no fear. Blake sent a message. "This is not your space anymore. This is not your time. Step down, stand aside, or be left behind." Soren raised his hand. "But he did not give the order, sir," his officer asked. Soren stared at the screen. He saw something. Behind the fleet, small signals. More ships, civilian ones, cargo ships, medical cruisers, even old patrol boats. They were coming too. The people had made a choice. Blake saw it too. "They came," he said. Soren lowered his hand. "Stand down," he said. "Let them pass." The rebel fleet moved through the gate. No shots fired. The horizon led the way. Inside the capital, people filled the streets. They watched the skies. When the ships appeared, they did not run. They cheered. Blake sent a message to all. "We came in peace. You gave us war. Now we give you a choice. Live free, or keep living in fear." At the palace, Empress Lyra watched the people. Her guards stood still. She knew it was over. She left the palace that night. The Empire fell without a final battle. On the bridge of the horizon, Kara sat beside Blake. They looked at the lights below. "You think they will listen now?" she asked. "Some will," Blake said. "Some will fight. But the world has changed. We showed them what it means to rise." Lena walked in. "There are messages from 5 more worlds. They want to join the new alliance." Chris followed her. "We also got a message from a station near the Dark Zone," One word. Night shard. Blake stood. Then it is not over, but today we rest. The ship moved slowly over the capital. Flags of the new worlds showed on the screens. People cheered. Others cried. The horizon had returned, and the stars were no longer quiet. Now they were full of voices, of hope, of change, of humans. The Empire never saw it coming. The sun was high as the horizon moved deeper into unknown space. The old paths were behind them. Ahead were new stars and new signals. On the bridge, Blake stood with Kara and Megan. The crew was quiet but ready. "We are crossing into Sector 9, Megan said. "No records from the Empire, which means we do not know who or what lives there," Blake replied. Kara added, "We picked up signals. Some are weak, some repeat. Could be calls for help, or traps," Blake said. "Either way, we check." The ship slowed as it reached the first signal. A small planet turned below. Broken towers stood on the surface. The place looked empty. "Scan for life," Blake said. Chris checked the screen. One sign, small, underground. "Send a team," Blake ordered. Kara, Megan, and two more walked down to the surface. Dust blew around them. The buildings were old and quiet. They moved toward the signal. A door opened as they passed. A small figure stepped out. It looked human, but thinner and pale. It did not speak. It only pointed to a room. Inside, more figures. Waited. Some were hurt. Some were too weak to stand. Kara looked at them. "You are from Earth?" she asked. One of them nodded. "Long time ago, lost in a storm, left behind." Megan called back to the horizon. "We found survivors. They are human." Blake gave the order. "Bring them up. We help." The crew moved fast. They gave food and water. Doctors treated wounds. The small group of survivors looked at the stars from the horizon's window. Some cried. "You came back," one of them said. "We thought no one would." Back on the bridge, Blake stood with Lena. She showed him a map. "There are more. Signals, other worlds. We might not be the only ship out here." "Then we find them," Blake said. "No one left behind." The horizon moved again. Each jump brought them to a new place. One station had machines still working. Another world had only silence. But then they found a ship. It floated without power. The hull was marked with an old Earth symbol. Blake looked at it. "This was ours," he said. "Long ago, they boarded the ship. Inside they found messages, stories, names. A log from a captain. We left Earth 200 years ago. We tried to build. We failed, but we left a path. If anyone finds this, keep going." Lena saved the data. "We will follow that path." The horizon fixed the old ship. Some parts still worked. They took what they could and moved on. More signals came. One was strong, a base hidden in a gas cloud. It sent one word again and again: home. The horizon entered the cloud. The base was large. It had power. It had weapons. But no one answered. "Quiet," Kara said. They landed and walked through the base. Screens still blinked. Machines still moved. Then they found the core room. A man sat there, not moving, not dead, but not alive. Lena read the files. He was a watcher, waiting. His job was to guard the past. Blake looked at the wall. Names were written there, ships, dates, missions. It was a list of all the lost Earth missions. "We were not the only ones," he said. "They took the data. The watcher was buried on the base. They left a sign. Your watch is over. The horizon returned. To known space, the galaxy had changed. Small groups were rising. Some needed help. Some offered help. On one world, they stopped an old Empire unit from taking a city. On another, they gave water to a dry land. The name Horizon became a word of hope. Blake sent messages to all who would listen. We are not rulers. We are not lords. We are people, like you. Join us, share with us, stand with us. And they came. Ships from old worlds. Crews with no flags. Traders, soldiers, doctors, farmers. A new council was formed. No empire, no throne. Only voices, equal. Open Kara stood with Blake one night, looking at the stars. We changed things. We started something, Blake said. Now others will build it. Megan walked in. Message from deep space. A new signal. It says Earth. Everyone turned to look at her. Earth, Blake asked. Real Earth. We don't know yet, Megan said, but it's out there. Blake smiled. Then we go. The horizon turned once more. Its engines lit the dark. People on many worlds watched it fly, and in every heart one thought grew. The humans were not just back, they were home, and they were reaching for more. Asterisk, the horizon moved through deep space. Its hull showed marks from many battles, but it still flew strong. Blake stood on the bridge, eyes on the stars. Kara was beside him, silent but alert. We are getting close, Megan said. The signal is clearer now. The signal had come 3 days ago, a simple message. It said only one word, Earth. Blake nodded. Bring us in slow. I want full scans. The ship entered a small system with a yellow sun. There were planets, some dead, some green. One planet stood out. Blue oceans, white clouds. It looked like home. Is it Earth? Blake asked. Chris checked the readings. Same orbit, same size, same gravity. It matches old data. Lena looked closer. There is something wrong. No cities. Number lights. No tech signals. Kara spoke. It's Earth, but not as we knew it. The horizon went into low orbit. Cameras showed forests, rivers, and mountains. No roads, no towers, no signs of war. Only nature. It looks like Earth before humans, Megan said. Maybe the old world cleaned itself, Blake said. Or something wiped it clean. They sent a shuttle down. Blake, Kara, and Lena joined the landing team. They touched down near a lake. Birds flew overhead. Trees moved in the wind. It's peaceful, Lena said. They walked for hours. No danger. No people. Then they saw something in the ground. A stone marker. Words were carved on it. We left, but we did not forget. If you find this, remember who we were. Remember Earth. It was a sign. Someone had come back long ago. Kara found more signs. A broken solar panel. A metal beam with old writing. A child's toy under the dirt. People lived here, she said. But they left again. Back on the ship, they found old data in the orbit. A satellite still working. It had a message stored. This is Station Hope. Earth was restored, but we chose to leave it clean. If you return, protect it. Do not build, do not take. Blake listened to the message, then he looked at the crew. They wanted Earth to be more than a memory. They gave it back to nature. The crew held a vote. They would not build on Earth. They would leave it as they found it. They placed a small beacon in orbit. It sent one message: Earth is safe. Let it stay that way. The horizon moved on. In the weeks that followed, the ship visited new worlds. Some had life, some had ruins. Others had people waiting. On one cold moon, they found children hiding in a cave. A few adults stood guard with old rifles. When they saw the horizon symbol, they smiled. We waited, one of them said. We knew someone would come. They took them in, gave them food, care, and hope. Lena worked on a new map. She marked every signal, every world, every person they helped. It's growing, she said. This is more than one ship now. It's a path, Kara added. We are building something, not an empire, not a rule, just a way to stand together. Messages came in from far systems, more humans, lost colonies, some weak, some strong. They all had the same question: can we join? Blake gave the same answer every time. If you come in peace, if you come to help, then yes. One day, a new ship appeared. It was large, old, and strange, but it had human writing. It docked with the horizon. Out came a man and a woman. Their faces showed long travel. We followed your signal, the man said. We are from the outer rim. We thought Earth was a story. Blake shook his hand. It was a story. Now it's a start. The new ship carried supplies, books, tools, seeds, even music. Kara smiled. They brought back our voice. They shared the music with other ships. It played across channels. People on far moons heard songs from Earth. Children danced. Elders cried. The horizon continued forward. Every stop brought more signs of change, more people ready to rise, more hope. Blake stood at the center of the bridge one night. Stars filled the screen. Kara joined him. Do you think we will ever go back to Earth? She asked. Blake looked ahead. Maybe one day, when the stars are ready, when we have done enough. Lena sent a new signal. It carried the story of their journey. The message was simple. We came from Earth. We lost our way. But we are finding it again. Not by taking, not by ruling, by reaching out, by standing side by side. The signal spread. Ships heard it. Stations played it. A new age had begun, and the horizon flew on, not as a warship, but as a light in the dark. A sign that humans had not just survived, they had returned, and they remembered what it meant to be more than strong. They remembered how to care,